No matter the type of hair that you have, know that it can get locked. So whether you are considering to lock your hair or you have made up your mind to lock your hair, today I'll be talking about the different methods that you can use to lock your hair, the advantages and the disadvantages. So get ready and let's dive into it. Okay, number one method that you can use to lock your hair is twisting. Yes, two-strand twist. This method is an easy technique to use. It involves you cutting your hair into your desired sizes, whether you want the lock to appear big or you want it to appear small. So afterward, then you start your lock journey. The advantages of this method is that, number one, it is beginner friendly. If you don't know how to twist your hair before, you can learn it. Number two, it is easy to learn, so don't be afraid. Number three is that you can control the size of your lock. Let's assume you decided to lock it, to twist your hair yourself at home, and then along the way you realize that some of the strands are too big while some are too small. You can loosen it and cut it into your intended sizes. But the disadvantages of this method, which is not even a disadvantage to me, is that number one, it takes a while for the hair to lock, for the twist pattern to disappear. It takes like 4 months to 2 years for it to disappear, which actually depends on the type of hair that you have. So it's not the same for all types of hair. Another disadvantage is it can unravel. The twist that you made can unravel along the way, and this also depends on your type of hair. But it's not a big deal, because if it unravels, then you can palm roll it or you twist it back, and then you are good to go. Then you can start your lock journey. So number two, for your information, I started my own lock a few months ago with 2-strand twist. So you are good to go. Number two methods that you can use is braid. Yes, braid. You can braid your hair and start your lock journey. It's similar to twisting in the sense that it is easy to make, it is beginner friendly, and you can control the size of the lock. The disadvantage of braid is also the same with twisting. It unravels according to the type of hair you have. It unravels, and that is easy as well, because you can just palm roll or you braid it, the tip again, which usually unravels. Number three method is sisterlock. Sisterlock or brother lock. This method is quite beautiful. Yes, it's a beautiful method to use, and the method is usually recommended to people with busy lifestyle. It's usually done by the use of a hook to interlock your hair from towards the tip of the hair to the root of your hair. Installed, and they are quite small. And when I say a long time, I mean hours or even days, which depends on the length of your hair and the density of your hair, how thick your hair is. The next method is comb coil. Comb coil also is beautiful. It's a beautiful method. The technique involves the use of the teeth of a comb to twist your hair from the root to the tip of your hair. One thing about this method is that if your hair is short, let's say like 4 inches long, it takes a short while for the hair to get locked. But if your hair is long, it takes a longer time for it to get locked towards the tip of the hair. But one of the advantages of this method is that the coil maintain a uniform size throughout the lock journey, and at the end of the day, it is what makes it to be beautiful. The disadvantage of this method is that it unravels fast, so you will need to stay away from water when you get it installed initially, or else the lock, the future lock, might get unraveled. The next method is back combing. Now, this method is what is used for people with naturally loose hair, silky hair, naturally straight hair. So when I said earlier on that any type of hair can get locked, if your hair is permed, or it is straight, or it is soft, loose, this is the method that is good for you. It is called back combing. The method involves the use of combs to comb your hair backward, which will then palm roll. Kind of crochet hook is used to intertwine and lock your hair up at the end of the day. It is palm rolls to form the lock, and eventually the hair will get locked by maintenance. It requires good maintenance. If you don't maintain this method well, the hair can loosen up. If you don't maintain this method of hair, of lock, it can result to a blowout, or the strand can lose towards along the length of your hair. So the next method is instant lock. Now, instant lock is, like I call it, a magical lock, because you get to a salon, to your loctician, with loose natural hair or any type of hair that you have, and after a few hours you come out with your hair locked. It's also a beautiful method to use, actually. And the disadvantage of this method is that it's expensive. Actually depends on the area that you are and the loctician that is installing it for you, and it requires maintenance too as well, so that it doesn't get too rough and you end up looking unkempt. The next method is the use of lock extension. Now, lock extension can be synthetic hair or human hair, but it is advisable that you use human hair because they are lighter. They tend to blend better with your hair. But if you have the option to use synthetic hair, then it's okay. What will happen is that you have to get used, which is the disadvantage, you have to get used to the weight of the synthetic hair because it's quite heavy compared to your natural hair, but it is still going to look beautiful at the end of the day. I said earlier that any type of lock can, any type of hair can get locked. I mean it. With this method, you can now decide the one that will suit your look eventually. So I hope you have been able to decide on which method that will be suitable for you. So if you find value in this video, press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell for more on dreadlocks.